From the KATC Weatherland, here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, we're getting ready for a prolonged threat of severe weather, pretty much a low-end threat of severe weather, most of Acadiana, but it is more substantial as you get into the northern Acadiana parishes on northward. So we have tornado, damaging wind threat, maybe some hail. Flooding is taking the lead, and I'll tell you why coming up in just a bit. So let's get into it. Take a look at the upper level pattern here as we look at the jet stream dynamics. And this is a whopper of a storm system that's going to be a big snowmaker to the north, but here's that jet stream right here, a jet stream maxima. Once you get into these reds, you're over 150. This is almost 200 just east of New York, but nonetheless, you get this jet stream maxima on the southeastern side of this upper low, and you're going to have the threat of severe weather generally in that southeastern quadrant. So that's what we're looking at going into tomorrow and Wednesday. The low, unfortunately, lifts north instead of progressive pushing to the east. So that's going to keep that jet stream over us and keep us in a situation where we're going to see the threat of heavy rainfall building as we head into well past midnight tomorrow night through up to about midday on Wednesday. So here's the whopper of the upper lows. We look at the 500 millibar level. This is at about 18,000 feet, a little bit lower. And north and east of this system and near it, you're seeing mostly snow, showers, and storms beginning to bust out to the southeast. And look at all the winter storm warnings, blizzard warnings for a good chunk of the high plains, and then winter storm warnings where they're going to be measuring snow by the foot in spots of those. Winter weather advisories go all the way down to the Mexican border in southeastern Arizona, southern New Mexico when you get to elevation. And then new tonight, tornado watch for the Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma Panhandle on through the Red River. And we even have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings going right now. And all that mess is going to be heading eastward. But in the near term, it's relatively quiet. But for tomorrow, this is the severe storm outlook per the Storm Prediction Center, and much of Acadiana in a slight level, a level 2 out of 5 versus northern portions of Acadiana in an enhanced level, level 3 out of 5, damaging winds, hail, and a few tornadoes, maybe a few strong ones up in this area. Allen, Evangeline, and St. Landry Parish, the parishes bordering the northern portions of Acadiana, will be most at risk. And then that severe weather threat shifting eastward into Wednesday, especially for the river parishes as we get through midday into the afternoon hours. And then on top of that, the threat of heavy rainfall, and the National Weather Service being proactive, issuing a flash flood watch that's valid for tomorrow evening through Wednesday afternoon for the possibility of some very heavy rainfall. So quiet overnight tonight. We get into tomorrow afternoon. We start seeing showers. And after about 3 or 4, we're going to have to keep an eye on all these cells because we're going to be in a fairly favorable environment for some spin-ups or mesocyclones in some of these storms. And then you see activity back building to the west. And here we are at midnight tomorrow night. Oh, this should move through pretty quickly, right? Well, here we are still at 4 o'clock in the morning. Showers and storms not moving a whole lot, waiting on another upper level low to finally push these storms off to the east as we get into the midday hours on Wednesday. And this is all going to translate to a prolonged chance of severe weather. We look at wind shear. Winds, they not only increase with height, but they turn, they veer. So we're starting at 14-mile-an-hour winds at the surface, 43 at 5,000 feet. At 18,000 feet, you're at 55, and then at 100. And we see that across the area. And this is a wind shear right here from the Euro model. So we're going to be a fairly sheared environment. So we'll have to watch all the storms. It's a lot of radar watching ahead of us because some of these storms could get out of hand on short notice. We've seen that all the time. Latest HER model here, getting more concerning for sure, showing rainfall 1 to 3 for many, and then isolated spots 3 to 6. You get into these oranges, you're in the 5-inch range. So that is quite concerning. This is the latest HER model. Look back at the European model from earlier today and the last several days. It's really giving us a big soaking. So the possibility of flooding certainly there as well, and that's going to build mainly toward Wednesday morning. So mostly cloudy, mild night ahead, quiet night across Acadiana, pretty quiet tomorrow. The winds begin to pick up and get gusty out of the south-southeast. Showers and a few storms by the latter part of the afternoon, and certainly as we head into the evening hours, and it gets downright stormy for about a 12-hour period from tomorrow night through midday on Wednesday. So we have an alert night and an alert day going into Wednesday for that severe weather threat and the threat of flooding, which I think has taken the lead on our greatest risk. And then as we go down the line, we'll see much cooler temperatures, more rain chances as we go into the following week as we get ready for Christmas, and then colder air potentially on the way, model up to 34 now. But the lower 30s, upper 20s could be in the mix just as we get close to Christmas.
Bringing out those blue numbers.
Yes,
I see that.
exactly
Okay.
right.
Thanks, Rob.